The cattle industry, our industry, is at a crossroads. On the one hand, we enjoy one of America's great legacies, a history and a heritage second to none. On the other, we face a future that holds both promise and uncertainty. The Chekhov-funded National Beef Quality Audit helps us look at that story, to measure where we've been, and to map out where we want to go. The audit underscores the positive things we have to tell and documents the tangible progress we've made. At the same time, the audit defines for us specific areas that need improvement, and in improving these things, our goal is to push toward a sustainable, profitable future, a future in which we're building trust with consumers every step of the way.
There are three big things we have to do as an industry. Number one, we must deliver eating satisfaction every single time to our consumer. Secondly, we need to absolutely protect, defend, promote, and enhance the product integrity of beef. In other words, all those composite traits that influence whether a consumer likes the product, trusts the product, and trusts the process that created the product, we must enhance those at every chance we get. And the third active step for us as an industry is to very proactively and relentlessly tell the beef story so that people can connect to what it is that we're doing.
Our industry is a fragmented enterprise with multiple segments, with a diversity of interests and know-how. Each of these segments, from ranchers to retailers, often defines value in different ways, which results in communication barriers between them. These communication barriers are often at the root of our problems in ensuring customer satisfaction and coordinating activities between us.
Well, I think one of the things that I thought was clear that came out through the audit was this miscommunication that's occurring among segments. In fact, when you define certain terms to one segment, they had an entirely different meaning for the other. So from a seed stock standpoint, that means we got to clearly understand what that commercial cow-calf guy wants and needs. From a cow-calf standpoint, he needs to know exactly what his feed yard, who's going to take his cattle and feed them, exactly the demands that he wants from those cattle. That communication, to me, is absolutely key to the success if we're going to move this industry forward.
Too often we get caught up in our own segment of the industry. We don't consider the implications for our partners either upstream or downstream. One of the great things about the audit is it brings people together from the beginning of the supply chain, the cow-calf operation, through the feedlots, through the packers, the distributors, and even the restaurants. By bringing us together, we can begin to coordinate our activities and eliminate many of the inefficiencies that plague us and work together to really produce a better product.
When you look at retail and food service and foreign markets and all these different aspects, the main thing is we just need to keep a focal point out there on the quality and consistency of our product, and the safety of our product is really key. But we've seen a lot of improvements in genetics, then through advanced technology, we've enhanced that to maximize a lot of the safety and quality of the product.
Our industry has a deeply held commitment to food safety and an unmatched track record of improvement. For us, food safety is something tangible, something we think about every day. The bulk of our farms and ranches are family-owned and operated. Like our consumers, our families depend on food that's safe and nutritious. But the world is changing. Doing good is not enough. The audit shows we must be accountable, reduce the turf wars between us, and deliver quality every time without exception. Any opportunities we have to improve food safety, traceability, and to standardize production practices will help us expand market share around the globe while continuing to build consumer trust.
We looked at each segment's view of the industry. Every segment cared about a variety of things. Certainly the top of the list was food safety, and people viewed food safety both as a strength for our industry, as a weakness, and as a potential threat. And I think what that means is that at every segment people understood a food safety failure has real consequences.
Well, food safety is really, I think, has to be all of our top concern in the industry, because ultimately the consumer is looking for a product that they know is safe. And I think the industry's done an excellent job of improving our food safety, and we've got to continue to be vigilant, because even one incident of E. coli or salmonella gives the entire industry a black eye.
Mark Twain once wrote that a lie can travel around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. And that was a century before the internet. Today, the name of the game is not only doing things the right way, but also in the telling of that story. Most people will never step on a ranch. Most people lost their connection with the land generations ago. But most of what they hear about us is untrue, exaggerated by activists and advanced by a hypersensitive media. The audit shows us that our story is a good one, underpinned by progress, science, and continuous improvement, and it deserves to be heard.
I think one of the strong suits of our industry is the integrity of the people involved in the cattle industry. And I think we have nothing to hide, and I think we have a great story to tell. And transparency is really what the consumer is looking for these days. They want to know what's in the food products. They want to know how the animal's being raised. And so it's incumbent upon us to really tell our story, because we have nothing to hide.
We have to do a much better job, in my opinion, really framing why these efficiencies, improvements, etc., how they lend to a better, safer product that in the end actually is more value proposition, especially as we look at a population in this world that may be doubling over 20 or 30 years. We better figure out how to do something extremely well and do it more efficiently. And to do that, using the power of science is very important.
So the name of the game is, how do we do the right things in the right way every day, so that we provide this great product that lives up to the legacy and the history and the industry that was passed on to us by our parents and our grandparents.
I think the most important thing that must come out of the results of this audit is not just necessarily the data or the information, but it's how do we take this information data off the shelf, look at it and say, okay, given what we just found out, how can we as producers raise the bar and improve the product we're producing for the consumer?
Cattle come first, and that's what we want to tell people. When I started as a young man, I've seen many things change over the years, but the one thing that I've noticed is we've strived to become better, and we've evolved from the 80s and 90s to 2000s. We really have a high quality product that's very safe.
Quality is hard work, and the National Quality Audit has provided for our family, for the industry, a route to measure our performance. And that's the great thing about the quality audit. It's an honest, true look at where we are as a business, and it asks the question, do you have the commitment to get better?